Good morning, class. So today, sorry about my voice. Today we're looking at this is going to be now the third lesson on probability, correct? Right. For yesterday's homework, it was exercise 12.3, correct? Right. You had to do out of 12.3 numbers 2 to 5. Okay. Any problems that you had with homework? Any problems with number 2? Number 2C. It shows geography and history but not art. So what is omitted? So you only had a problem with C. So that means to say your Venn diagram is in order. Okay, so that 2C I'll sort out for you. Okay. Number 3. Any problems with number 3? Okay, that means to say your Venn diagram is not right. So I'll do that whole question then. This is number 3. Any problems with number 4? Problem with number 5? Yes, because why we first need to do example 2 to understand number 5. Okay. I just wanted to see what would the response would have been. Okay, if nobody had said nothing, then I would have known you guys didn't do your homework. Okay, as I normally think you don't. Is it okay? But you think I'm wrong? So this is exercise. Sorry? 12.3 on this on page. Huh? 404. So we are told the community center offers lessons in sewing, cooking, and art. Okay? Sewing, cooking, and art. But the sample space. Sewing, what you call it SE, cooking, and art. Why do I put SE there? Because I have S already denotes sample space. Okay, you all agree with that? 50 women goes to the community center. Somebody drop money for you. Okay, so where does the 50 go? Where does the 50 go? Sorry? But the S is a sample space. Okay. We are told that 50 women go to the community center and enroll in at least one course. One of the courses under the consideration. What does that mean? No bodies on the outside. Can you see that? So we'll have 0 on the outside. Okay? From the group of 25 women who chooses to do cooking. Where does the 25 go? Where does the 25 go? By the C. Of the 25 who does cooking. 8 also chooses art and sewing. So where does the 8 go? Middle here is the overlap. Not so. 3 chooses cooking only. Where does that go? C only. And 6 chooses sewing but not art. 6 chooses sewing of the people choosing cooking. 6 chooses sewing but not art. So it's this there that goes there. You all agree with that? Any confusion? 20 in the role for sewing and art. 20 in the role for sewing and art. So you're going to look for sewing and art is this here. Not so. There's a 20 belongs to that chose sewing and art. 8 of them is already accounted for. Can you see that? So how many goes here? Huh? 12. Okay. You all understand? There are 35. There were a total of 35 who enrolled for art. So that there is 35. Which means to say this plus that plus that plus this all adds up to 35. Use a Venn diagram to illustrate this information and then determine the probability that one of the women from the group is chosen at random who would have enrolled in. Okay, so let's keep this here. Okay. So at this point, what can we calculate? Cooking and art, but not sewing, which is that there. Once I got that, I will be able to calculate art only. Once I have that, I can calculate sewing only. Not so in relation to the total number there. So how are we going to calculate cooking and art only? 25 minus 3 minus 6 minus 8. Why? Because all that adds up to 25. You all agree? So what does that give us? 8. Is that correct? That 16 is 22. Yes, correct. 25. Art only? 35 minus 8 minus 8 minus 12 is minus 28. 35 minus 28 is 7. So how do I calculate sewing only? 50 minus 25, which is those 4, which is 25. 13, 6. 6 correct? What is the answer? 8 or 6? What goes here? 6. What did I say? 6. Okay. You all agree with that? You all understand? So, question A says, cooking and art but not sewing. Cooking and art. So it's those there. Not so, but not sewing. So I'm accounted for 8. You understand? So it's 8 over 50, which is 4 over 25. So where did you go wrong? Did you get the Venn diagram right as it is here?
I did, sir.
You got the Venn diagram right? Okay? So you just misread that. So what was your answer you had?
It was 18 over.
18. How do you get 18?
So I think I added all of them after. I don't know.
Cooking and art. Remember if it says and, what must you look for? The overlap. Okay? And it's omitting sewing. So you close the sewing part as well. Let's look at B since we are with it anyway. Sewing or art. So if you're going to look at sewing or art. Sewing or art. So it's all of this I must consider. Not so. It's all of that. Or is the union of. Okay, so the collective. Not so? If it says and, it is where it intersect only. You guys understand? So in other words, this would be 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 12 plus 7 plus 8 all over 50. Not so? Or I can use the complementary rule. Can you see it's only one on the outside? Can you all see that, people? So what can I say? 1 minus 3 over 50, which is 47 over 50. Is that correct, people? Yes. The next question. The next question says, sewing. Sewing. So this is the sewing set. So it's all of that there. Not so? If it had said sewing only, it would have been that there. Would have been it doesn't have the color. But anyway. But you guys get the idea that there was sewing only. Okay. But since it only said sewing and it didn't say sewing only, so it's going to be 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 12 over 50. There's going to be 20 is 32 over 50, which is 16 over 25. 16 over 25. Okay? Any confusion here? And then D, sewing only. So sewing only is going to be 6 out of 50, which is 3 out of 25. You all understand? So that was number 3. You said number 4 is fine, and number 5 was the issue. So before we go into number 5, and we're going to look at number 5 collectively or together, I'm going to explain to you example 2 first, and then we're going to do number 5 together. Okay? You all okay with that? Which page is this on? 403. Okay, so now we're looking at example 2 on page 403. We are told that in a grade 11 group of 65 learners. So where does the 65 go? This is the sample space. 65 learners. Definitely a 3 by 3. And the 3 subset story. There are 5 learners who takes physical science and life science. Okay, so we've got physical science, life science, and geography. There are 5 learners who take physical science, life science, and geography. So where does that 5 go? In the middle. Not so. Now you write it in quickly. There goes 5. Okay. And 8 learners, we have considered the 5 already, and 8 learners do not take any of these subjects. 8 learners does not take any of these subjects. So you pencil in your 8 salon. Okay. So where does the 8 go? Outside. 32 learners take physical science. So where does that go? Physical science. 32 learners. "29 takes life science. So you pencil in the 29. It's 29. 19 takes geography. Write that in. "13 of these learners takes physical science and life science." 13 of these learners take physical science and life science. So write that in. So if you consider 13 takes physical science and life science, so that 13 belongs there. Not so? That's for both sets. But how many is accounted for already? 5. So how many goes there? 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Can you see that? Whilst 8 take physical science and geography. Pencil that in. So we're saying the 8 take physical science and geography. So that 8 belongs here. But how much is accounted for already? 5. So, what are we left with? 3. That takes physical science and geography only. Not so? Go with me. So at this point, what can be calculated? Physical science only? Anything else? Geography only? No. So, life science only? No. The intersection thereof at this point? No. So now we're going to introduce a variable. Okay? Firstly, we can calculate this physical science only. Okay, we are doing A from the top, from the beginning already. No? So will you work out what the physical science only would be? So what is physical science only? 16. Do you all agree with that? Right. So now we're going to say let x equal the probability. Put the x here. Let the probability of life science and geography only equal x. Okay? So if that is equal to x, what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent this part of the subset in terms of x. Okay? As well as life science only, that part of the subset we want in terms of x. You guys understand? Why are we doing that? So that we can set up an equation for 65. So all these parts we know adds up to 65. Not so. It adds up to 65. So what we're doing is, as you can see the shaded area here, for that we're going to represent in terms of x, set up an equation and then solve for x. Does it make sense? No? So what would the first part be? What would this be? In terms of x. 11 minus x, let's check. How do you get that? So we're saying that it's going to be 3, which is that, plus that, plus that, plus that, equals 19. Not so? Am I right? Right, so I say 3 plus 5 plus x plus, let's call that the unknown, the big O, equals 19. So to get that on its own, it's going to be 19 minus 8 minus x, which is 11 minus x. You all agree with that? So what I want you guys to do now, you do the same, but I want you to calculate that one day. You all do that? Guys got it? So what can we say? 8, so I'm going 8 plus 5 plus x plus this unknown equals 29. 8 plus 5 plus x plus that unknown equals 29. That unknown in terms of x is going to be 29 minus 8 is 21 minus 5 is 16 minus x. You all okay with that? Let's take all the sticks out here. I'll take it out before I wrote. That's going to give you 16 minus x. So what do we know at this point? That all of these parts adds up to 65. You all agree with that? So set up in the equation and then you solve for x. Okay. So instead of saying 16 plus 8 plus 5 plus 3, we know it's going to add up to? What does that all add up to? 32. Okay? Just remember now I've accounted for all four. That's why I then said 16 minus x plus 11 minus x plus 8 is equal to 65. But if you're that kind of girl that want to write out all the numbers, no problem. Huh? So of course those two x's cancel. So negative x equal to, what is 65 minus 14 is 25. Minus 11 is 14. Minus 16 is negative 2. Is that correct? You'll get negative 2. So therefore x equal to 2. So what can happen now? My Venn diagram will change. So I have the values now of x. Not so. So what will it be? 11 minus 2 is what? 11 minus 2? 9. Then this one here would be what? 2 only. And 16 minus 2? 14. Make sense? Now let's look at the questions pertaining to this Venn diagram. Okay? The first question says, B says, a learner is chosen at random from the group of 65 learners. Determine each of the following probabilities. In the first case, haven't used green, let's use green. In the first case, the learner chosen takes physical science only. So you write the answer in physical science only. So physical science only is what? 16 out of 32. No, not 32. 65. 16 out of 65. You can't simplify from there. Not so. Go with number 2. The learner will take physical science and geography, but not life science. Physical science and geography. And means overlap. Not so. But not life science. So they're taking that 8, that 5 also out. So what are we looking at? 3. You all agree with that? So it will be 3 out of 65. Not so? The last one, a learner, or the learner chosen will take life science and geography, but not physical science. Write that answer in. Okay, so what do we get? The probability chosen will take life science and geography. Life science and geography, but not physical science. So it's going to be 2 out of 65. Okay. Any confusion there? No. So now let's look at question 5 out of that exercise. So for this one, I'll go a bit faster. I know some of you don't like the slow pace. No? Oh my word. One of those groups, no? Not one of those groups, that group. Exercise 12.3. This is on page 404. No? The only thing you guys say yes for is the reference, that's all. After that, I'm talking to myself. Sorry? 405. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So we are told in a supermarket of 42 employees. Right, let's do this quickly. We're going to do this together. So draw it. Your box, your three subsets. Okay, so we have your Venn diagram, 3 sets, 3 subsets. Okay. The supermarket, 42 employees, that is going to be your sampled space, 42. 24 speaks English. So you write that in. 20 speaks isiZulu. Let's put a Zulu. And 16 speaks Afrikaans. Okay, so that's simple. That is 24, 20, and 16. 8 speaks both English and Zulu. So write that in. So if 8 speaks English and Zulu, so both these parts are going to be 8. Not so? So I can't put 8 there, nor there. Not so? You all okay with that? Eight speaks both English and Zulu. 6 speaks Zulu and Afrikaans. 6 speaks Zulu and Afrikaans. Maybe that part there, 6. Not so? 7 speaks English and Afrikaans. English and Afrikaans. How many? 7. And everyone speaks at least one of the 3 languages. What does that mean? No one's on the outside. 0. Which means to say that adds up to 42. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Okay, we introduce the X. How can that help us here? We introduced an X now. Okay? So where do you think we're going to put the X? In the middle. Okay? So if we put X in the middle, so we say let, you don't have to say this now, but we're going to let the probability of the person speaking English, Zulu, and Afrikaans equal X. Okay? Then what other parts of the subset now can be made up? the spot here, not so. What would that be? 7 minus x. Make it a bit bigger. Now you fill in that for me and that there. Those values. So what would this be? 8 minus x, and this one? 6 minus x. Okay, so now I've counted for this here. That one there, and that one there. Okay. Now what do you think we're going to do? We can now work out this plot here. In terms of x. Not so? So do that quickly. And that one there, and this one. Okay, so let's look at the first one. How are you going to work out that? It's 24 is equal to that unknown which we were calculating plus x minus 8, or 8 minus x, sorry. 8 minus x plus 7 minus x. Of course that cancels. So that unknown is going to be 24 minus 8, which is 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. So that's x plus 9. Did you guys get that? You all got that? No? You finished the next one already? Sorry? Yes, okay. So it's going to be, what is this 20? Equals 8 minus x plus that unknown, which is this here. Plus 6 minus x plus x equals 20. That cancels. Okay, so that unknown, so it will be 20. A equals 20 minus 8 is 14. Now 12. 12 minus 6 is 6 plus x. Okay, you all got that? And the last one will give us that unknown plus x plus 7 minus x plus 6 minus x equals 16. So this cancels. 7 plus 6 is 13. 16 minus 13 is 3 plus x. You all okay with that? So if we add up all these parts of the Venn diagram, it should add up to what? 42. So set up your equation, you work it out. Okay, so what do we get? We're saying this whole set adds up to what? 24. Not so? Otherwise you can write 9 plus x plus 8 minus 8 and you add it up, you'll still get 24 anyway. So 24 plus 6 plus x plus 6 minus x plus 3 plus x, and all of that adds up to what? 42. Remember, there's nobody on the outside. Okay, so that cancels. So x works out to be what? 42. This is 24. That is 36, 37, 38. So x equal to 4. Is that correct? Huh? 3. How do I get 4? That is 24. 24 and 12 is 36. The 7, 38, yeah, 3 is correct. You all agree with that? So at this point, what can we do? We can now draw a new Venn diagram. Not so? By filling in the values of x now. So that is going to be what? What is this here? 3. Not so? Now this is going to be 8 minus 3. What's 8 minus 3? 5. What is 6 plus 3? 9. What is 6 minus 3? 6 minus 3? 3. What is 7 minus 3? 4. What is 9 plus 3? 12. Oops. What is 3 plus 3? 6. And there we go. Make sense? I hope I didn't make a mistake. Otherwise, I must redo this whole sum again. Right, by using the Venn diagram, find the number of employees who speaks all 3 languages. Find the number. Did I ask for the probability? No, you're asking for the number. Then A, all 3 languages. How many speaks all 3 languages? 3. B, Afrikaans only. 6. Let's check if it's correct at the back of the book. Okay. I'm feeling better by myself. You see? But you guys understand? Later on you can watch the video again. First do it again and then you watch the video. Okay. So for homework, you can do question 6. Only question 6. Okay, let's see in the revision exercise. Here is a Venn diagram question there. Out of the revision exercise, this is on page 426. You do for me number 4. As well. Okay. If you had a problem initially with this work, please redo the sums again. The exercise again, okay? Okay, your next heading, your sub-heading, we're still busy with probability. Let me just get it quickly. Now we're going to look at 3 diagrams. 3 diagrams. Combined events. Okay. part of your homework, you can read through page 406, the note on combined events. You can write this into your book, maths books, okay? Who's taking the homework down today? I see Kay is not here today. Sorry? Shirley. Shireen, who's Shireen? Oh, Shireen. Okay, thank you, Shireen. What are you going to do without you guys? Okay. Okay, this example is on page 407. So now we're looking at the example on page 407 under combined events. Okay, this will lead into tree diagrams. Not all these sums you need to draw a tree diagram. A tree diagram will just make your life a bit easier. Okay, or your calculations a bit more logical. Okay, or easier to follow. So we see this on page 407. Okay. So later on, when you watch the video, you'll see the reference and so all of those things. Okay. Okay. So we are told in example 1 on page 407. A dice is thrown and a coin is tossed. You guys know what a dice is, no? Okay. Okay. So if you're looking at a dice or a die, one die, many dice, no? There's a plural and all of those things you do in English. Right. So, if you throw a die, how many sides to a die? 6. So you can either have a 1 on it, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or 6. Not so. So if you toss you throw your dice first, and you toss your coin. If it landed on a 1, the coin could either be a heads or a tails. If it's on a 2, it's either heads or tails. 3, heads or tails. 4, heads or tails. 5, heads or tails. 6, heads or tails. Not so. If they ask you to list your outcomes, you must list your outcomes. It could be 1 heads, 1 tails, 2 heads, 2 tails, 3 heads, 3 tails, 4 heads, 4 tails, 5 heads, 5 tails, 6 heads, 6 tails. Okay. If they ask you to list the probability on the branches, this was now your branches. No, a tree has what? Branches. Not so? I ask you to list your probability on the branches. The first one would be 1 out of 6. The 6 here. This would be 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. Can you see that? People, this here always adds up to 1. 6 over 6. Okay, the probability on the branches always adds up to 1. Heads or tails? What's the probability of you tossing a heads? 1 out of 2. Tails, 1 out of 2. It's 1 out of 2, 1 out of, and so on. Okay, you all understand? Right. First question. We say list all the possible outcomes. This is the answer to A. Okay. How many outcomes are there? Yeah? 12 outcomes. Not so? B. B, the question says, what is the probability for the combined events of obtaining a heads and getting a prime number? So here, the probability of heads and a prime number. So heads and a prime number is that one, that one, that one. Right, you all agree with that? So it's going to be 3 out of 12, which is 1 out of 4. You all agree with that? C. C says, what is the probability of the combined events of obtaining a multiple of 3 and getting a tails? A multiple of 3 and getting a tails. A multiple of 3 and getting a tails. So multiples of 3 and tails.
Your attention please, Leave Panya. Can you please report to the office? Leave Panya.
Is there any other one that's a multiple of 3 and tails? No. So it's going to be 2 out of 12, which is 1 out of 6. D. What's the probability of getting a heads? How many heads are here? 6. So it's going to be 6 out of 12, which is a half. E. What's the probability of getting a prime number? Prime numbers is there's 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 prime numbers. 6 out of 12. You see, they didn't specify prime and tails or prime and heads. So you look in totality, all the prime numbers. Okay? Unless there's a further condition that needs to be met for us then to eliminate the other values there. Do you all understand? It's E. If calculate the probability of it landing on the heads times the probability of a prime number. So how many heads are there? 6 out of 12. How many prime numbers are there? If we work out the prime numbers. Yeah. Prime numbers is 6 out of 12. Which is 1 out of 4. It was a half times half. Not so? E, F, G. And G, calculate the probability of the multiple of 3. Probability of multiples of 3 times the probability of it being tails. So the probabilities of the multiples of 3. Did we work that out already? What is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 12 times tails, 6 out of 12. So that would give us, it's a half times a third, 1 out of 6. Okay. Let's compare your answer to C. It's also 1 out of 6. Why is it the same? Because the probability of the two events happening at the same time. And we'll speak about this sometime in this, probably tomorrow's lesson. That the probability of the multiples of 3 times the probability of tails is equal to the probability of the multiple of 3 intersection tails. If that is the case, as you can see in C, the combined events, we are saying the events are independent. And we'll speak about this in our next lesson. For homework, it's a pleasure. No, you guys are not complaining. I want you guys to do exercise 12.2. 12.5. Okay, do the odd numbers out of exercise 12.5. Okay. No, not 12.5. 12.4. We haven't done 12.4 yet. That example that I explained to you deals with exercise 12.4. It's on page 411. You do those 7 sums. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sorry for keeping you so long. I hope you don't get Afrikaans. Oh my word.